Boys and girls, everybody in betwixt, it's your boy King Prime.
It's your boy Sire the God.
You know who we be?
TDIP. Obviously.
And we need your help. Guys, we want to be put forward and we want your nominations for the ITVB Creators Best Podcast Award. All right? Basically, all you need to do is to nominate your boys. That's all we want right now is a nomination link. We're going to give you the link in the description box. All you need to do is sign up, put your email address in there, put that you are a subscriber or follower, put our YouTube link, which is obviously right above our heads there, and then you want to nominate us for 3 categories, but whatever works for you guys. Best Entertainer, Best Podcast, and Rising Star. Okay, that's all you need to do. They might ask you for a few questions about which one of our videos is your favorite video. Put whatever you like.
Don't care. Because we just want you to vote, guys. That's all we want you to do.
Yes.
Okay? It's a big opportunity for us to be on that stage on behalf of you.
Absolutely. So all you need to do is put your favorite clip of whatever video that we have dropped. It doesn't matter what one it is. Just put it there and then hit submit. That's all you need to do. All right? The link is in the description. Please, please, please nominate your boys for the ITVB Creators.
And share the link, guys. Feel free.
Oh, yeah, do that.
Share the link.
Yeah.
You know, friends, family, we need everyone behind us right now. Yeah?
Absolutely. Please do so. And obviously, we are doing this because we love you. All right? Until next time, TDIP family, we will say
peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy King Prime.
It's your boy Sire the God.
You know who we be.
Yo, TDIP. In the building.
Obviously. And we're back with another Reacts for your net back. Quick housekeeping as per usual. You already know. Please hit the subscribe button. If you like what we're doing, hit the notification bell so you do not miss anything. Please share the video and hit the thumbs up because more likes, more eyes. All our social media links are in the description below. Holler at your boys. Right-e-ho. So, how Michael Jackson outsmarted the music industry and won?
Wow. We all know how he eclipsed the music industry.
Facts.
It was just obviously a bit larger than life.
Yeah, more famous than Jesus, people would say.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah,
I've heard that people have said that there was Michael Jackson and then there was all the other artists.
Yeah.
Because all the other artists just wanted, that is the pinnacle. As soon as it really hit and he did what it did, he won music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Michael Jackson won.
He completed music.
He completed music.
He completed
you know what
music.
I mean? That's what happened.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't complete music and expect that, you know, you're not going to be brought down or attempted to be brought down. And obviously there was a lot of fuckery.
Yep.
But he definitely completed music.
He
won music.
He won music.
You know what I mean? I don't think anybody else people have come, you know, up behind, but it's like here.
Yeah.
And then the top of everybody else starts from down here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mike just had the juice.
Yeah.
Mike had the juice.
Anyway, how you outsmarted the music industry and won.
Let's go.
Let's get it. Be up the channel MJ Forever for this one.
Yep. MJ Forever.
Game. Most artists rise and fall, trapped in unfair contracts and industry politics. But not Michael Jackson. He didn't just dominate the charts. He outsmarted the entire system. Labels couldn't control him. Executives couldn't manipulate him. Even when the industry turned against him, he played the game his way and won. But how did he do it? How did Michael Jackson make himself untouchable while other artists struggled to keep their earnings and careers intact? From owning his music to making the most legendary business moves in history, this is the story of how MJ flipped the script, outmaneuvered the industry, and left behind a billion-dollar legacy they never saw coming. And the craziest part? The industry didn't realize what he was doing until it was too late. The first power move, owning his masters. Most artists don't own their music. It's a secret the industry doesn't want you to know. Record labels control everything. They give artists fame, but in return they take the real money, the rights to their songs. This means every time a song
Oh,
is sold...
I think I know why they would have put Diddy there, because he said most artists don't own their masters, and Diddy was notorious for taking people's masters.
Yes.
And he was the one that owned all of the masters.
Yes.
And he only recently just gave them back, innit?
Yes. I remember who was it that recently got it? It was 112 got theirs back, and I think Mary got hers back. And probably Faith Evans. You might have to, guys, might have to fact check me on that. I think those are three that I can remember off the top of my head.
That's why I think he as he was saying that.
They put him in the flipping video, man. I thought they were just trying to send for Diddy.
Yeah.
his masters. Most artists don't own their music. It's a secret the industry doesn't want you to know.
Yeah.
Record labels control everything. They give artists fame, but in return they take the real money, the rights to their songs. This means every time a song is sold, streamed, or played, the label gets paid first, while the artist gets only a small cut. But Michael Jackson was different. He saw through the system and refused to be just another artist on a label's payroll. In the 1980s, after the success of Off the Wall, Michael renegotiated his contract with Epic Records, ensuring that he had greater creative and financial control over his music. Then came Thriller, the album that made him unstoppable. It sold so many copies, broke so many records that Michael had all the leverage. He wasn't just a superstar, he was a one-man industry.
I'm hearing the stat that I heard about how much he made from, like, he caked off of Thriller, bro. Absolutely caked. I think he made like $2 from every album sold or something like that, which is actually unheard of. Yeah, like in terms of how the music industry works, you're not making that off of your albums and things like that.
Yeah, because that's a relatively, because not everybody gets even a full dollar.
Yeah, exactly.
Of that, even like producers, artwork, the distribution is always cents.
Yeah, so he got like. He got $2. I think he got $2 from each of that, and now obviously that went gone clear. So that's why he was just music money. Yeah, you know what I mean. Music. Obviously the labels would have made a lot more. Yeah, someone like Quincy.
Quincy would have made a lot more
as well.
Yeah.
No, actually, I would have thought. No, I don't know. I haven't necessarily looked into what Quincy would have made off of Thriller, but I don't think he didn't make more than Michael made.
That's it. Do you know how insane that is when Quincy produced that album?
He didn't make more than Michael made.
And Mike just sung on that. Well, he obviously wrote his songs. Yeah. And sung on that album, but this guy made $2.
That's mad, isn't it?
That's insane.
Fame. Michael made a move that changed everything. He fought for ownership of his masters. Yeah. That meant every time his songs were played, he got paid, not just the label. It was unheard of at the time, and only the most powerful artists could even dare to ask for it. This was only the beginning. Soon, Michael wouldn't just own his music, he'd own other people's music too. And that's when things got serious. The Beatles catalog.
They got techie after that, got techie.
Michael Jackson was always thinking bigger. And in 1985, he made a move that shocked the entire music industry. It all started with a simple conversation. While working together on Say, Say, Say and The Girl Is Mine, Paul McCartney gave Michael a piece of advice. Music publishing is where the real money is. Paul had been quietly buying song catalogs, collecting royalties from music he didn't even write. Michael listened carefully. And then, he made one of the smartest business moves in music history. That same year, the ATV music catalog went up for sale. A goldmine of 4,000 songs, including nearly 250 Beatles classics like Yesterday.
47.5 million purchases, controversial change in music. Do you know what? And I guarantee, Paul McCartney probably had that conversation with him
in passing,
in a whimsical conversation. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, do you know what? Publishing's the where the real money's at. Anyway, you know what I mean?
It was a passing convo.
Brother, I guarantee it. He didn't go deep into it, blood. He didn't go deep. Michael just said, "Oh, you don't say." Like, you know what I mean?
He's probably wake up in the paper and see this bumbo.
You know, I guarantee Paul McCartney said, "Bumbo one." Let me just open the paper today. Oh, Charlie, bring me my toast. Paul McCartney said "Bumbleclad."
Yeah, he did.
That day.
He absolutely did.
saw
For the
it.
first time, he was livid.
He didn't know he had it in him.
He was livid,
He
bruv.
didn't know, man. Oh, my days.
Oh, God.
One of the Beatles pushed AJ towards pushed it.
The line.
Michael jokingly told Paul, I'm going to buy yours. You know what I mean? Again, this sounds like a whimsical conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, music. Yeah. Oh, well, you know, I'm going to buy yours. All right, cool. All right, anyway. And then they moved on.
The thing is, but my understanding is, right, Michael was known for stuff like that, like these underhanded comments.
Yeah.
He's been known, like, Michael, from my understanding, was a sassy don, bruv.
Yeah.
He just say things in passing, but little did you know that he was cooking your clout, blood.
Cooking it, man. So basically, I'm going to buy yours, man. Suck your mother.
Yeah. He goes, oh, yeah, I'm going to get yours.
Yeah. Suck yourself. Get me.
Oh, my God.
Lord have mercy.
Look, man, look, the catalogue is mine on the back of a check. That's rude, blood.
Oh.
Nah, Michael didn't. No, Michael did that. Michael 100% did that. I think Michael's a piece of shit when he was alive.
Yeah. I have heard some stories, and Mike he used to write little affirmations that he used to write these things down. Like,
Well, okay, affirmations or fuckeries?
I mean, stuff that he's like, I want this to be the biggest album ever, whatever. He would write stuff like that down, innit? And then...
Okay, so that's believable then.
A gold mine of 4,000 songs, including nearly 250 Beatles classics like Yesterday, Let It Be, Help, The Long and Winding Road, and Michelle. But it wasn't just the Beatles. The catalog also included songs from Elvis Presley, Bruce Springsteen, the Rolling Stones, Cher, and Little Richard. It even came with a massive...
And he gave Little Richard back his...
Of course he
had
did.
that and gave Little Richard back his masters.
Yeah, because Little Richard was unk to him.
Yeah.
That was unk to him.
Yeah, he didn't give the rest of them.
I told you, bro. Michael's on fuckeries, blood.
Yo!
Michael Jackson was
wicked
on
man,
fuckeries,
I
blood. He's a wicked man.
library of sound effects, something most people don't even know. Paul McCartney and other investors wanted the catalog, but Michael, he outbid them all. For $47.5 million, MJ became the owner of one of the most valuable music catalogs in history. Paul McCartney was furious. Their friendship never recovered.
Duh.
But Michael wasn't trying to betray Paul. He was simply playing the game smarter. He understood something that most artists never realized. Own the music and you own the industry.
Nice.
Every time a Beatles song played on the radio, got covered, or was used in a movie, Michael got paid. The same went for songs by other legendary artists. He had turned the industry's own system against them, securing a lifetime source of income that no record label could take from him. But the story didn't end there. The biggest label in the world, Sony, soon realized they had made a massive mistake and they weren't happy. Labels couldn't control him and they hated that. Record labels thrive on control. They sign artists, lock them into restrictive contracts, and take a massive cut of their earnings. Most musicians stay trapped in this system, unable to fight back. But Michael Jackson? He was different. By the late 1980s, MJ wasn't just the biggest artist in the world, he was also one of the richest. While other stars were dependent on their labels for money, Michael's ownership of the ATV catalog gave him an endless revenue stream. Every time a Beatles song played, a Rolling Stones track was covered, or an Elvis hit was licensed, Michael got a check. This made him a problem for the music industry.
But imagine being rich forever.
That's what MJ was, and this is why they wanted that catalog back so bad, because I think it was Sony that actually originally sold it. And they've got it back now.
But how much did they have to pay to Mike?
It was a lot more. It was a lot.
Fucking hell.
I think it was. Mate, I was closer to $1 billion. Yeah, big returns, blood.
Big returns.
Big
Big
returns.
returns.
But
Michael
he
got a
obviously
check.
is passed.
Yeah.
This
But
made
that's
him a
why
problem.
But that's why he never wanted to give that catalog back.
Yeah.
Because he knows that is
That's generational.
you don't. He was never gonna sell that.
Yeah. So they took it from his estate.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was never. He wouldn't have wanted that.
No, not at all.
Definitely. Michael Jackson would not have wanted anybody.
Yeah.
To sell that. He fought against selling that catalog.
Yeah.
he wouldn't have wanted anyone to sell the catalog. I think the estate kind of, I don't know, man. I think they just kind of went behind his back a little.
That's
just
dread.
Selling it back to Sony. Now it made a lot of money, but I think with the catalog is something that they should have kept.
Because that right there, that's you have the catalog is an endless revenue stream as opposed to just a one lump something. Because that, if it was billions, yeah, that's a fantastic. That's what, it's a 20 time. No, that's a 200 time return off of the back of a 50 million thing and you're getting back $1 billion. That's fucking.
And it weren't. The thing is, it weren't just at one point. It weren't just the Beatles one, and it worked because they did a merger.
But Sony ATV.
Do you remember? Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that.
They did a merger.
Yeah.
So now he owned half of Sony's stuff and ATVs now. So, bruv, that's the bruv. You
own the industry.
The industry.
You own the industry.
Label.
You are the industry.
He would never have sold that.
Whomever is in charge of his estate, they fucked up differently. Oh my days, I'll be haunting niggas.
Yeah.
I'll be haunting niggas day and night.
Music industry.
Yeah.
Labels prefer artists who need them, but Michael didn't need anyone. And then came Sony's biggest mistake. By the early 1990s, Sony was desperate to get its hands on Michael's catalog. It was too valuable, and they couldn't afford to let it stay in the hands of an artist they couldn't control. So they made a deal, one they thought would put them in charge. Sony offered Michael a partnership. They would merge their own publishing catalog with MJ's ATV Music, creating Sony ATV, one of the biggest music publishing companies in the world. The deal gave Sony 50% ownership of the catalog, but Michael still kept full control. At first, Sony thought they had won. They assumed Michael would eventually sell off his share, giving them full ownership. But instead, MJ used the partnership to grow his empire even further. As Sony ATV expanded, so did Michael's power in the industry. With his growing fortune, MJ continued buying up more assets, acquiring rights to even more music. He became an unstoppable force, one that record executives couldn't manipulate. And that's when the industry decided to fight back. The media turned against him. His radio play started dropping, and soon, things took a darker turn, because when they couldn't control him financially, they tried to destroy him personally. The Tommy Mottola feud. By the early 2000s, Michael Jackson wasn't just a superstar, he was a threat to the music industry. He had more power than most record labels, thanks to his half ownership of Sony ATV, which controlled thousands of hit songs. But Sony wasn't happy. They wanted full control, and when they realized Michael wasn't going to give it up, but Sony wasn't happy.
Oh, I don't recognize anybody here.
I don't really recognize anybody there, but maybe he's just got a pic.
Look at it, just randos, bruv. Just random. Yeah, I don't recognize anybody there.
They wanted full control, and when they realized Michael wasn't going to give it up, things got ugly. At the center of this battle was Tommy Mottola, the powerful CEO of Sony Music. Mottola was known for being ruthless, but even he couldn't control Michael. Their relationship soured when MJ suspected that Sony was deliberately sabotaging his 2001 album, Invincible. The album had no major tour, no big promotions, and Sony refused to finance MJ's planned short films, something they had always done in the past. Michael believed it was all part of a bigger plan. Sony wanted him in debt, forcing him to sell them his share of the Sony ATV catalog. And Michael, he fought back.
I do not put it past them in terms of that's what they're planning. Eventually, if they wanted that catalog, which was sold, they wanted that catalog, bruv. If their plan was to say, right, you know what if we don't finance it, he's gonna eventually need money.
Yeah.
So what's he gonna do if he needs money? He's got that catalog. He's gonna sell it. He's gonna sell. We have to, you know what I mean? That's what they had in their head, really, which is crazy. Which is crazy.
Publicly. At a press conference in 2002, MJ did something no artist had ever dared to do. He called out one of the most powerful music executives in the world. Standing in front of cameras, Michael called Tommy Mottola a racist and accused Sony of being corrupt.
Wow.
He claimed the industry was designed to keep black artists from owning their work, and that labels used unfair contracts to control musicians. The music world was shocked. No one had ever spoken against the industry like this, especially not someone as famous as Michael Jackson. But behind the scenes, the industry was already working against him. His music stopped getting radio play. The media attacks became worse, and soon Michael was facing something even more dangerous: the revival of old allegations that would try to destroy him for good. The message was clear. Michael Jackson was getting too powerful, and the industry wasn't going to let it happen. But what they didn't realize? Even in his darkest moments, MJ was still playing the long game. The music industry's revenge attempt: false allegations and media smears. The music industry couldn't control Michael Jackson financially, so they turned to their most powerful weapon, the media. It wasn't a coincidence that every time MJ made a major business move, controversy followed. In 1993, just as he was cementing himself as a business mogul, the first allegations surfaced. The media went into a frenzy, pushing a narrative that damaged his reputation. But Michael was never charged, never convicted, and even the FBI found no evidence against him. Then, in the early 2000s, as Sony was trying to force him to sell his share of Sony ATV, another wave of
You
accusations.
know what? This is what people don't understand about this thing. It's bigger than like most people don't even care like to even look into it, but it's bigger than just these allegations. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to look into, follow the money.
Yeah.
Follow the money. Every single allegation, it leads back to money.
Yes.
Every single allegation led back to money, bruv. Like even the first one where the guy was, he was asking, he was pretty much extorting Michael Jackson, saying, I'll destroy you, I'll destroy you, whatever.
Yeah.
And he just wanted the peas. He could have taken Michael Jackson to trial.
Yeah.
He could have taken him to trial criminally. And he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do it. He wanted the settlement first for like a civil trial. Yeah. That's what he wanted. It's all money, bro.
Yes,
even from the first one. Do you know what I mean? Which is crazy. Like, and then stuff like fucking
As Sony was trying to force, FBI found no evidence.
FBI, like the FBI.
Yeah.
When they do, FBI don't play, bro.
They don't.
Them lot ran into Diddy's yard and yapped him up. Bro. Yeah. FBI didn't come after MJ because they did a 10-year like investigation on him since the first allegation.
Seriously?
10 years.
I actually didn't even know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know.
But that's what they're talking about. They did a 10-year investigation on him, and there was nothing there. People to this day, people still think MJ did these things. Like, come on, man. There's nothing there to suggest that he's done that.
Yeah.
Do you know? Other than the fact that he liked to have children around. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and people just see it as a wrong.
Which is a little bit strange.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
that's all they got to go.
That don't mean that it's criminal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A little bit strange don't mean criminal. Exactly. At the end of the day.
No, facts.
Evidence against him. Then, in the early 2000s, as Sony was trying to force him to sell his share of Sony ATV, another wave of accusations hit. The 2005 trial was not just about the allegations, it was about power. It was about taking down a man who had become too powerful for the industry to control. The media ran sensationalized stories, ignoring evidence in Michael's favor. His finances were attacked, pushing the false narrative that he was going broke. Radio stations started blacklisting his music. Even some former allies in the industry turned against him. But despite everything, Michael Jackson still won. In 2005, he was acquitted of all charges. The world had been led to believe he was finished, but behind the scenes, MJ was still making moves. After the trial, he left the US and spent time overseas, quietly planning his next step. The industry thought they had buried him, but Michael was about to prove them all wrong. Because in 2009, he was set for the ultimate comeback, one that could have made him more powerful than ever. And that's when things took the most tragic turn of all. The final victory, Michael still wins in the end. The music industry tried everything to stop Michael Jackson. They sabotaged his albums, turned the media against him, and pushed him into financial struggles. But no matter what they did, they couldn't take away his biggest asset, his music empire. Even as he prepared for his This Is It comeback tour in 2009.
Deep this, yeah? There's billionaires now there's billionaires now in music. So who are the billionaires? Like Jay-Z, Kanye. Rihanna.
Yep. I think that's the. I don't think Beyonce's there yet.
I'm talking about just within like the music.
Yeah, I think it's just those three. I think they're the big three. Can't think of anybody else.
But if you notice, all of them three didn't make their billions from music.
No. Fashion for Kanye and Rihanna.
That is what differentiates.
Yeah.
He made
all of his
billions
money
from music.
Yes.
You know
I think that's almost unheard of. I don't think anybody's done it since.
No one's done it since, and no one's done it before. Blood.
Yeah.
Like billions from music specifically.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's
like that's mad.
That's dope.
Michael still owned half of Sony ATV, a catalog worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's why, even after his passing...
MJ didn't sell no alcohol, blood. He
didn't sell alcohol, no makeup.
He ain't got a clothing line.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? No makeup, man sung songs and sold music.
Yeah.
That's what he done, innit?
Yeah.
Fuck.
MJ still won. His estate turned his financial struggles around, bringing in billions after his death. Sony eventually bought out his 50% share of Sony ATV in 2016 for $750 million, making it one of the most profitable investments any...
47.5 to 750 mil. Big returns, bruv.
Massive return.
Big returns, bruv. And it would have been worth more now, bruv.
Yes.
Now, if he'd kept that, because I know he wouldn't have sold that.
Absolutely not.
So it would have been worth so much more now. And
Yeah.
But like, do you know what I would have loved to have seen?
Go on.
Him come off of that tour, yeah? Okay, and just say, right, you know what? We're good. This is it. That I done it. You know what I mean? And then just go into mogul mode.
Yeah.
And just be, have his own label, bro.
Yeah.
He, in terms of he's probably bigger than Sony at this point.
Yeah.
He would have had his own label. He would have been signing people. He would have been, doing things the way he did. And just went into mogul mode, bro.
That would have been dope.
But it just,
I would love to see Michael like that.
It was, that's how we wanted to really see the story, innit?
Yeah, that would have been so sick if we saw that.
Imagine and he's just the head of shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, just running shit, bruv. Right, cool. We're signing now. We're not signing that. No, we're signing this. This is what's going on. You know what I mean? And
facts.
Like
that would have been it would have been so cold.
That's how it should have been, but obviously, he's a troubled individual. So the prescription drugs and all that kind of stuff was, you get me, got on top of him.
Yeah. Any artist has ever made. Michael's music continues to break records, and his influence hasn't faded. The music industry may have tried to erase him, but they couldn't. His legacy, his business moves, and his impact are untouchable. Michael Jackson didn't just change music, he outsmarted an entire industry. And today he remains one of the richest and most powerful artists of all time, even in death. So the question isn't whether Michael Jackson won. It's whether the industry ever truly recovered from losing him. The industry tried to control Michael Jackson, but he was always 10 steps ahead. He built an empire, played the game better than the labels, and left behind a legacy that's still generating billions. And now, the question is, do you think MJ was the smartest businessman in music history? Let us know in the comments.
I'd say, based on what I've learned, I'd say unquestionably yes.
In music?
In music.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like
as an artist.
You just said that he made his money simply from music.
He weren't selling anything else. Maybe but when I say not selling anything else, obviously he had merchandise. Yeah. But didn't have a clothing line. Like, does that make sense?
Yes.
He sold DVDs in terms of like music videos, but that's all his music. Yeah. So that's all related to music. He didn't really sell. What else did he sell, bro?
He had the film, but that was like just
music.
That was just a long music video.
These are music. This is part of his music. He's selling the music. Yes, he's selling the visual. Yeah, but he's selling the music. So really, yes, he's probably the smartest businessman when it comes to music, because everybody else had to look outside of music. Yeah. and he kept it within music and went into publishing. The publishing is what made him his piece.
Yeah.
So he owned his music and he owned everybody else's music, bro. So he made his money off music specifically, bro.
Yeah, that would put him head and shoulders above everybody.
You know what I mean?
Everybody.
When Eminem was dissing him, bruv, he just said, "All right, I'm gonna buy that." Still, I mean, man bought up Eminem's.
If I was Eminem, I would have been livid.
Man bought up Eminem's things. So every time Eminem drops music, MJ got paid for the music or something. Like, nah, yeah,
That man for cartoon. I would have
that
been
man
livid.
for cartoon. I remember buying it. You buy it. Remember when Just Lose It?
Yeah.
Just Lose It, and it had MJ like in the video.
Yeah.
Like with the kids jumping on the bed.
Yes,
and
yeah,
that
yes,
kind of
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
like that. And MJ was like, nah,
We're not
doing that. All right,
yeah.
buy his,
Buy his shit. Yeah.
buy his,
buy his things.
buy that. buy his thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Oh, we're gonna definitely delve into some more reactions like that, man. It's very interesting and very insightful as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That was so sick.
Guys, in the comments, just pepper the comments. Let us know if you wanted us to listen to some more stuff like this, because we definitely want to get into it.
Facts, absolute facts. Yeah, man, that was dope. It is your boy King Prime.
It's your boy Sire the God.
You know who we be,
TDIP.
obviously. And until next time, TDIP family, we will say.
Peace.
Doing the crow.